Hey everybody, it's Kendra with Keller Williams here in the South Bay. I just finished wrapping up an open house here in Torrance, California, 2313 West 182nd Street. And very productive day. I met a couple of buyers and a seller and an investor today. So it was one of the most productive open houses that I've held. Now, the reason for this video is because someone reached out to me earlier and said, what are the advantages and disadvantages of starting real estate at a young age? Now, there's no better candidate to answer that other than myself, because I started real estate right after graduating high school. I'm 18 years old right now, and let me tell you, I think that there is no disadvantage in starting real estate at this age. Let me tell you why. Number one, because you have no one depending on you, hopefully, right? You have no one depending on you. I have no mortgages to pay, no kids to feed, no family to support, right? It's all me. Everything that I do is for me, right? So the second point I want to address is that your brain is still malleable, meaning you're able to learn so much more about life, business, skills than someone who's been in the corporate world for 30 years, which is the majority of realtors coming in, because there's not a lot of realtors out there who started real estate as their first career. Many come from other jobs in the past, right? And although they have money set aside for saving all that stuff, they come into this business with a limiting set of beliefs, right? And this is where I have an advantage over others. I don't have these sort of limiting beliefs that these people had when it comes to starting a business, right? They still have that mindset of they're working a job, they get paid an hourly salary, right? We don't have that, we get paid on commission. And for me to embrace that right at a young age forces me to be in a productive state, right? And the third thing I want to address, which is a great advantage, is that people are much more, they admire you, right? When I stepped into the office, and someone found out that I, found my first seller, scheduled the first listing appointment within 3 weeks of getting into the business, they were very surprised. And adding to that fact that I was 18 years old, the whole office was blown away, right? So not only will you have more respect among your peers, but people are also willing to help you, right? Because think about this. Are you more willing to buy a cup of lemonade from a 5-year-old kid who's doing it, or someone who's 50 years old, right? You would support that kid because he's a hustler. He's doing things at a young age that can help him out in the future. That's how I think about it. And I think that's how everybody thinks about it when they see someone young and hustling, right? So those 3 points alone should be enough to convince you that real estate is a great career to start, especially when you're young. Now, I want to address this also. Any disadvantages that you think you might have when starting real estate, those are your own fantasies, right? You create your own obstacles in this business, and that is so true. That is so true, right? You set your own limits. For me, I do my best every day to tell myself that no one can stop me. No one can tell me to keep going forward in this business. And it's worked well so far, right? It's worked well so far. And the only disadvantage I could ever come up with when it comes to starting real estate at a young age is that you don't have a lot of money set aside. Some people might say, oh, you only need $1,000 to start in real estate. I think that's untrue, right? For me, when I got my license, I finished my exam, I got my license, I was already $1,000 deep, right? And on top of that, you gotta have office dues, your business expenses, maybe your car, gas, phone bill. That's gonna total up to around $3,000 for the first couple of months, right? So my suggestion, if you're starting real estate young, is at least get a part-time job on the side, or have a part-time job 1 to 2 years beforehand, right? Some people might not come up with real estate as a career within that time, but it's good to have at least a couple thousand set aside. Now, If you're someone who's balls out, maybe you can go in with $1,000, hustle your ass off, and get your first deal within the first 3 months, right? But anyways, there's no disadvantage that I think of, and there's tons of advantages for starting real estate at a young age. Hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching.